Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Gaurav Punia, your host, and currently working as a product engineer at Coding Blocks. So we have Kshitij here with us today. He's a past GSoCer. So to say more about himself, I'll let him introduce himself. Hi Kshitij, please introduce yourself.
Hi Gaurav. As you have already informed my name is Kshitij Soni. I did my BTech in Petroleum Engineering from Indian Institute of Petroleum and Energy, Visakhapatnam.
Okay, that's great.
Thereafter, I started preparing for UPSC, and in the meanwhile, I joined Delhi School of Economics to pursue my MA in Economics. In my undergraduate
Okay.
studies,
Mhm.
particularly after the third year, I did Google Summer of Code program at Genome Assembly and Annotation. So
Mhm.
it was my kind of internship experience and one of the major project that is still in my resume.
Okay, that's awesome. Let's start off with knowing more about you, how you got started with your journey. So, as you already told me, you are not from a technical background, right? Your undergrad is from a core subject kind of thing, and it's not related to the technical stuff. So, how did you get started with it? Like, how did you got to know that yes, there are these things, these set of skills that I can do, I can learn, and maybe it will help me in the longer run. So, how did you get started as a student?
As a student, petroleum is very technical. It's a core branch, but it is a mix up of like you can say every branch, like mechanical, civil, for example, uh, electrical sometimes, because
Mm-hmm.
petroleum is many things at the same time. Like you have a well where you are doing casing, civil engineering, you are managing the
Mm-hmm.
electrical equipments, maybe electrical
Mm-hmm.
engineering, you are checking the reservoir conditions, reservoir engineering. So petroleum is very technical. It's like, and also it involves coding aspect. Like the softwares are
Okay.
different, but there are
Mm-hmm.
many simulation softwares, and people use coding languages to solve problems and to execute better and faster.
All right.
It was, and also due to this, we have had our in our curriculum the in the 2 semesters. First, like in the second semester, we had the programming and data structures, where we taught
Okay.
about C and data structures,
Mm-hmm.
and in the third sem, we had object-oriented programming, and
Okay.
thereafter. In the seventh sem, we have artificial intelligence and data analytics in petroleum industry. So
Okay.
it was there, but I started coding as a student because uh, there were that when I joined in 2019, there were some kind of guy which I was connected in with in LinkedIn. Uh, he was
Okay.
from IIT Roorkee, Ayush Agrawal. So
All right.
I know his name because checking his projects and GitHub, it pushed me to make my own. And
Okay.
from there I started learning. So first I tried to learn web development and other, but I got bored because I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, that time I was means just in the first year. So and also
Mm-hmm.
I was lagging behind the course, like my performance in both the courses in second and third semester were not good, because first I picked up C++. I started
Mm-hmm.
competitive programming. In the then time also, I joined machine learning course from IIT Madras.
Okay.
So it was going, and there only I got the required pace by joining that course. So it was more mathematical in the beginning. That is why
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get with the course structure of the third semester. From there only,
Right.
I started coding, like properly coding in Python. In my, you
Mm-hmm.
can say, fourth semester when I completed that course. Then did
Mm-hmm.
some sort of projects. After that, there was a program. I don't know is it there today or not. First, it was Microsoft Student Partner. Then it renamed to
Okay.
Microsoft Student Learners Ambassadors.
Right. There, it is still there today. I think so.
Okay.
It was there when I did my research recently.
Yeah. So I joined that, and there was so much because of my college background. The coding events were not happening in a regular manner. Okay,
Okay.
so it was more of the petroleum events and related to
Mm-hmm.
it. So there were so many events because when I joined the MLSA community, every
Mm-hmm.
now and then there was an event conducted in different technologies. So I started
All right.
attending there, and
Mm-hmm.
then I means applied for Google Developer Club lead also. So then where I
Okay.
meet the folks, I know about the innovation challenge and Google
Mm-hmm.
Developer Challenge, this kind of stuffs. So
Okay.
because my learning pace was slow, I didn't make it to the finals and many things. Then
Oh,
for open source, um, because I started in October 2022, to be very
right.
precisely, that contributing, reading the repositories, looking for
Mm-hmm.
any uh, bugs or something. So
Mm-hmm.
it started then, and then the regular process started when my I checked the GSoC timeline. Then it was by March 7 or the first week they announced the projects, and the application deadline was, I guess, April 12 or 16 something.
Right. Right. Right.
So that's how the journey continued, and it was kind of risk for me that because I didn't go for the petroleum engineering internship provided by
Mm-hmm.
my college. So
Okay. So you
I
already
still
had an internship at hand when the GSoC period was ongoing and you were preparing the proposal for all that. You already had an internship at hand, right?
No, no. The thing is, it was an more kind of training where
Okay.
we were not, we were, it was an unpaid training, but it was provided
Okay.
by college and the ONGC, and it was in
Okay.
Mumbai,
Got it.
Uran.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Oh, okay. 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 Right.
so my, I did not want to go in the summers of Mumbai, so I was
Okay.
like, it was a risk because the notification of acceptance came out May 20th, and by
Right.
taking the risk, I declined the offer on May 12th for that ONGC. I didn't go.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So
So in case your application would have been touch wood, it was not rejected. Had it been rejected, you would have been left without any
yeah,
internship at hand for
it
the
would
summers
be
to do.
very tough for me to cover the course. Like we had a
Right.
3 credit industrial training, so I
Mhm.
and it would be very I don't know what would happen. I would definitely look for the other opportunities, but not
Right.
sure. But I
Okay.
was also confident because see, in the GSoC complete project I wrote only one proposal, and
Right.
I will share you with the timelines and my email scripts. It's not like that private, because many have asked me, so it has been
Okay.
circulated all over the community. The thing is,
Right.
I started researching about every project. I was particularly
Mhm.
sure that I can't do development projects right now. I can
Okay.
only do ML or data projects because that's
Mhm.
what I was practicing then. So
Okay.
I some of organizations like GAA, ML for
Mhm.
Science, and Red Hand Labs. These are the organizations that put particularly ML projects. And
Okay.
so uh, I took 2 projects, but I was not able to dedicate enough time for both. So in the end, by the end of March, third week, I decided
Mhm.
that okay, I will write proposal for one project. I
Okay.
researched about that. Because I had some previous works in that domain, so it
Mhm.
gave me confidence. After that,
Okay.
I completely researched,
Mhm.
look after the other projects that has developed at that time. What
Mhm.
is that organization means? What was their scale, and what were their objectives? So keeping in mind, I followed my research, and
Mhm.
I still remember I submitted my project proposal on 9th of April. I got
Mhm.
my reply on 12th of April from my
Okay.
mentor, and
Right.
he asked me to add some pointers like my experience and my motivation,
Mhm.
because my
Mhm.
research proposal were very technical, and
Mhm.
what she said is that my proposal is very very hard to critique. So I had confidence that okay, she is having confidence on me.
She was interested in your proposal and wanted to know more about the project that you will be working on.
Yes,
So, right, that's
yes,
a great thing.
because that was my first step. Because I
Mhm.
still remember when I read the email. It was the first
Mhm.
line was, this proposal is very very hard to critique. So I, in
Okay.
my like nervousness, I
Uh,
first forgot to read hard to critique. I read very very critique. So and I read it once again. Then I had the confidence. Okay, this is good. And the
uh,
pointer she added me was to add some project reference which I had done in the past. Also about
mm,
my personal motivation. Rest she was very okay with the timeline. It was realistic, and
mhm.
that was my complete journey till proposal. And then after I was 80% sure that okay, I could make it.
Okay.
That is the
So,
complete journey, that how I got my GSoC project, like from
mm,
starting from the first year, first semester to the
mhm.
end of the sixth semester.
Okay, so we can say that in a way you got started right from the first semester because your semesters were an amalgamation of multiple courses and there was no specific, I can say, focus on the technical aspect of things. So it was your own hard work and the time that you put in learning ML and everything related that led you to finally creating your awesome proposal that was hard to critique and getting it selected for the GSOC itself, right? So that was
Uh,
an amazing journey and a very detailed one. Thank you for that.
I would
So
like
yes,
to
you were
add
speaking
that
something. Mm-hmm.
definitely, just a minute. Like, definitely,
Mm-hmm.
I did focus more on core subjects, but there were
Mm-hmm.
subjects that held me, like advanced statistical methods and
Okay.
numerical methods,
Mm-hmm.
transformation calculus. This were that added cherry on the cake. So I was confident
Okay.
because of my mathematical background that I excelled
Okay.
uh, all these subjects with very good marks. So I was confident that I can execute that project. So it was like choosing
Okay.
a path which was not very conventional in my college, but to giving
Mm-hmm.
it also doing many steps. Like I did many things. To be precisely, I changed my career goal once in a month. But still, I gave
Okay.
some 2 3 hours to that every day.
So you were touching all the stones and seeing that what can
Yes,
be done and whatever seemed to intrigue your psyche, you would go in deep in that particular aspect or the you would learn it very well as much as you can, right? But you were touching every corner that yes, I know this, I know this, I know that,
yes,
right?
I was doing so many things. Because it was the first time that was I was explored to many things. Since
Right.
my background of school means was not that it was good, but the
Mhm.
exposure was not well formed in the different fields, like comparing
Mhm.
to the tier one cities school and tier two cities school. So when
Mhm.
I get into college, I was exposed to many things. So it was
Mhm.
like excitement to try everything. That what is this? What is this? What is this?
Okay. So because of that exploring phase, you
Yes.
got the chance to try out everything at least.
Yes, and that time coding was like on boom. And right now there are many remote opportunities which will pay you
Mhm.
well, like as compared to the FANG companies. At
Right.
that time,
That's true.
getting internship into FANG was the only way to have a good backup if you try anything out of you after your graduation, like startup
Mhm.
or UPSC or
Mhm.
anything. So that time GSoC was like comparable to the FANG level, not maybe
True.
that accurate, but
Mhm.
1920. So that was the only way I thought that I could make it, because if I go to FANG, I would have to read about the computer science fundamentals like
Mhm.
architectures, networks, and many things, which I did
Mhm.
not at the time to master it. I can read, but in the interview, I knew that I won't be able to go to the final rounds.
Right. Because you have to convince them that yes, you have the, I would say, the uh,
basic
it would be that
understanding
you
of
have the technical skills that are there for it, and in order to persuade them you have to show them something, right? So
yes.
showing them that yes, you have done the GSoC, it's, I would say, a great benchmark for others to categorize whether this student can do the hard stuff when he joins our company or not. So
Yes, that
definitely I
was
totally
always
agree
the
with you
thing
on
that
that.
I thought because I knew that at that point of time I cannot get
Mm-hmm.
internship into FANG, and that was very clear. So I also didn't apply. I remember that only said for that that time Goldman was conducting that summer analyst test all over India. So I
Mm-hmm.
set only for that, but I didn't
Okay.
qualify for the technical round. So that was my only chance that I knew that I need to go through it.
Okay, great. Right, that's awesome. So, to know more about your perspective on GSoC, so how would you say that GSoC shaped your skill technically as well as your personality as a whole? Because after doing a project with GSoC, I would say we get the exposure that we like. There is a paradigm shift in our perspective when we are in school to when we go to college, right? And I have done GSoC myself, so I know that after doing GSoC, there is a similar kind of paradigm shift in our perspectives that happens because of the hard work that we put in, because of the people that we interact with, right? So, what was it like for you during that period, before that, and after you were done with GSoC?
Particularly, it's a very niche like before GSoC, I was executing projects. I was
Mm-hmm.
in few good teams that we were doing and completing projects,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't care about the scalability of the project. We thought it,
All right.
but we never designed in that way that over okay 20,000 users can use it.
Okay.
We didn't analyze that aspect in very detail. In my
Hmm.
GSoC, first that I had to create my own data set. Like it was challenging task because
Okay.
the organization in which I joined, they only
Mm-hmm.
had means PDFs of their means data set, and my
Mm-hmm.
task was to extract tabular data from that scientific PDFs. So first, I
Okay.
need data set to create a means where I can test, train, and validate. After
Mm-hmm.
that, uh, till the first evaluation, sorry, it was good. Midterm evaluation, you all know that it is not very hectic. Like
Mm-hmm.
you just need to show that you are moving right, matching the deadline, and convince that okay you can complete. So till that it was good. But then I joined college. Is the
Mm-hmm.
college reopened in August 2022. So managing time first of all, and second thing, uh, I always wanted to complete the project 100%. I was in rush. So my mentor told me in the middle of the August to like see. She told me that we are doing 10 PDFs in 100 minutes. You don't
Okay.
need to do that 10 PDFs in 1 second. Even if we are completing that 10 PDFs in 20, 30 minutes or even in 60 minutes, that's a
Hmm.
40% time reduction.
True.
So don't think of completing everything, just think of improving it because you cannot complete everything in a timeline because there will be things that will like hamper it or it will create obstacle. You don't know it. Maybe the code, maybe the structure, maybe anything.
Hmm.
So uh, that is what you need to focus was to doing step by step. Do not jump directly from 100 to 30. She was
Mm-hmm.
okay if I could do from 100 to 40 or 100 to 50. She was okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that means the particular aspect of the software engineering and executing the coding project in scale.
Mm-hmm.
That was the different experience. So now
Okay.
I like when I used to start project before that, I used to code so many high objectives like okay, I will make something like Google, it will do the best compiler in the world. I will create my own simulation engine. After
Been
that,
there,
I
done
simplified my task. Okay, I need to just do this. Okay, I just need to, okay, the reducing time is 10 seconds. I will make it 5 seconds. That is my objective.
that.
And if someone asks
Okay.
that any other, no, no, I can do this. We will think after that. So that's the
Right.
clarity on execution and scale. That is the thing
Hmm.
that I got to learn from GSoC. And don't make such high aims and unrealistic goals, sorry.
Hmm.
Because when in doing college, we start project and we think that we will create the next Google. But
True.
when we work in team and there are many sides which collaborate and put their inputs, like see, when we
Hmm.
compare our work with some other, we compare in a very small area or domain.
Hmm.
We do not know what's
Right.
happening in Australia or someone sitting in US is doing. Maybe they
Hmm.
might not be putting that on the internet or on the that side that where I'm putting.
Hmm.
So it was a like one of my mentor was from UK, one from Spain. So it was a very
Okay.
collaborative input that helped me to
Hmm.
shape my object making skills.
Okay.
And that is still helping. Like I am preparing for UPSC, so I do not take that I will complete whole GS1 syllabus. No, I think that okay,
Hmm.
modern history, national movement, done. Even in national
Hmm.
art, put in the movement, done. So that
Okay.
simplifying of bigger tasks to smaller tasks was my particular learning in the complete GSoC. Like coding and other stuff was the means prerequisite. It would have done.
Hmm.
So that is
Okay.
my learning.
So that is a great key point. Thank you for that, Kshitij. Like, I completely agree with this that initially when we get started with coding and making projects, especially, we just think of the the one key, like the one focus that yes, I have to complete this project and it will cover all these things. And instead of focusing on one checkpoint one after the other, we just try to do everything ourselves and try to just complete the project as soon as we can. Instead of that, that's a great key point, Kshitij, that we should create some checkpoints so that we can complete one task at a time and focus on maximizing its performance, right? So the end of the day, when the project really gets completed, everything is in line and it's superb, right? So that's a great point. So one more question I would like to ask you, that one more advice would you give students who have, I would say, started with coding, like this was the first advice that you gave. So what one more advice will you give to students who have just got started with coding and are in the initial phase of their project development, that might be from the
Technical
experience that you have had so far?
technical documentation. Like I
Okay.
focus on it very much after GSoC only because before
Right.
that I
True.
was not
True.
not in the mood to create any type of documentation. But during the GSoC, like there were so many things happening at time. Definitely,
Hmm.
everybody make notes in the meantime in the previous GSoC era also that. But the thing
Hmm.
is, when you work on project on a very large scale, you
Hmm.
there will be. It is true that you will encounter some error.
Hmm.
To rectify that error and to resolve that, you need to go back and look into the code. If you do not
Right.
make documentation or checkpoint where you have why, what, and how you did this, you will be
Hmm.
able to resolve that error, but it will take much longer time than if you do on documentation. Like
Yes.
you document
And
it
how
very well,
often do
but
you think students should document their things? Because I have been there, so I know that the students' perspective and the perspective after we are done with it. So how often do you think students should document what they are doing?
I think every week is good. Once in a week is good, and you
True.
don't need to document like writing a research paper, just like keynote points. Okay, why I
Mm-hmm.
did this and what is the progress. Like, for example, I was doing that to extract table. There were so many kind of tables. Some are nested
Mm-hmm.
tables, means there are no specified columns. They are in columns under columns, rows under rows, and there is
Mm-hmm.
simple table only columns and rows. So I documented. Okay, I wrote code for example, only simple table. The
Mm-hmm.
accuracy is this percent. I added this algorithm, and these are some
Mm-hmm.
of its key points and why I did this. So this is the
Right.
basic documentation. It not you will prepare the report after the completion of the project, that what are the final how to access it, how to log in it, how, what
Mm-hmm.
are the things. But in the meantime, if you document like a preliminary report or your informal report, not like to be
Mm-hmm.
in like okay I did then proper structuring, not required, just bullet points. So it will help you to overthrow the project, and it will also help in interview, because in interview, after like if someone asks me after 5 years that for example, I go to UPSC panel and they would ask me,
mm,
what was your approach?
mm,
So I would give them like, okay, I did this. But if they ask me a particular point, if someone was from also BTech CSE, he can grill me. Okay, you started this, now tell me. So it would help me. Okay, I was not from CSE, but I
mm,
did because I was in middle of this, and this was my
mm.
approach. So it will
Great.
also help you to first of all, simplify your task, rectify your
Mhm,
errors, and third, it
mhm.
will also make you interview prepared. Now, you don't need to then revise it or look at your project after
Yes, we just
completing it.
need
You just
to
look.
take a look at the key points and we are done. Also,
Yeah.
one
So
more thing
that
that I would like to add here is that when we are contributing to open source, it means we are working on a team that we do not know how big the team is, because there might be many people who will be joining after us and might be working on the same project, and there are already people who are working on our project. So the thing is that when we work on a particular project, students make a note of this, that when we are working on a particular project, what happens is that most of the people face the same kind of errors when compiling their code or when doing a particular task. So in case you faced a problem, you kept a note of the you can say the checkpoints of what you did to solve that problem exactly. That really helps the people who come after you. You basically pave the way for them so that they do not get stuck in the problem that took you hours or maybe days to resolve, and they are able to do it within minutes. You must have had heard about the Stack Exchange, where you can go and search your problem and you usually get the answer for that. That is also one kind of documentation where someone documented what problem they faced and others documented what was the resolution to it. So you use that particular documentation that was done maybe years before you faced it, and you use it nowadays to resolve your own error. So the same happens with us when we are doing something new. It is recommended that you document each and everything so that those who come after you are able to recognize what you are doing and resolve their own errors. So thank you, Sritij, for picking this topic up, because this is a very important thing. And after doing GSoC, I myself have started documenting things, not just the coding things. uh, it has helped me in the job itself. I document everything that I am doing almost every day, and it helps me keep a track of my progress and the learning that I do. So, thank you for raising that point. That was an awesome thing. So, one more question that I have for you is how can how can a student build a strong profile for GSoC? Because the thing is, I've heard many students saying that, Bhaiya, it's March already. I heard about GSoC now. So is it too late for me? And I have heard people saying that, Bhaiya, it's October and I'm already preparing for GSoC in for the next year. Like it's 6 or 7 months apart. So what is your take on this? That does the time really matter? And if it does, how much time should a student put for maybe having the chance of getting selected at GSoC?
I think that depends from organization to organization. Like if you go for ML for science, that is a like very big organization. Their projects are executed at different level. So you need proficiency, a high level of proficiency.
Hmm.
So first of all, you need to be hyper realistic that okay, what you can code, what you can learn and code, and what you can't code. So
Hmm.
that is the three bullet points that you should always keep in mind. And from why I mean by organization to organization, like for kind of data and ML, there may be like ML for science. I did not qualify it because when I checked the project, their test cases were there. They were doing it in C++. I was in
Hmm.
Python. I didn't have an experience of doing ML projects in C++. So if I start doing it March, I'm obviously late. So to be what people do is people browse so many organizations, pick up so many projects, and try
Mm-hmm.
to maximize their chance of acceptance by writing, because GSoC allows three proposals. So you try to
Mm-hmm.
write three proposals. What I suggest from my personal experience is, any organization, look for your previous experience. If you have done your personal project, if you can explain them in a simpler manner, like not
Mm-hmm.
adding very technical terms, because sometimes the project would not go directly to the mentor, they may pass through a checkpoint who is not very technical in nature. It is a
Mm-hmm.
possibility, we
Like our
can
resume passes via HR before going for the technical
Yeah,
interview.
there may be chances
Mm-hmm.
for a very big organization. Then why would someone sitting at like senior engineer or principal engineer strata would
Mm-hmm.
directly look in? They have their staff to do that. So you should explain that. Second thing, there should be at least, for example, they demand 100 technologies. You should know at least 60 or 65,
Okay.
because then only you will able to grasp the scale and what the project demands. So
Okay.
first of all, you don't need to like prepare for GSoC. You just need to
Mm-hmm.
practice what you are practicing. Then when
Mm-hmm.
GSoC uh, publishes the organization, look for organizations and match your skill set. And if you
Okay.
think that you are not matching, and still you can compete or you have chances based on your previous projects, you could definitely have a chance by writing a good proposal. You cannot write proposal only by doing a one day research.
Mm.
It is very clear that to write a good proposal you need at least a week, because I have seen proposals of more than 250 pages for a particular project. People write
More than
that.
250 pages.
Yes, it was not
Okay.
written in a month, but the
Uh-huh.
boy from I guess IIT Madras or IIT Roorkee, he was
Okay.
contributing to that organization since 6 7 months, like
Okay.
since you can say August. So he
Okay.
made the list of all the means
Contributions
commits
that you
that
made.
he had. Yes, the commits he had made to that organization, because many
Okay.
organizations ask you to commit, and if
Ah.
you are going want to go into that organization, that their first step is to show some contribution, you need to start from October. But if the organization do
Okay.
not want you to show contribution, then March is fine, you just need to work on skills.
Hmm.
So there is a difference, and most of the organizations okay, you can show either contribution or your previous experience, like
Okay.
40%, then 30%,
Hmm.
like that first contribute to our organization, write
Mm-hmm.
proposal, then we will evaluate. And rest
Okay.
20 25%, like this area go for 30 35%, and rest 25%
Okay.
that okay, show your previous experience. So that's how
Hmm.
you need to channelize your efforts, that where you want to work. And if you commit for 6 7 months, definitely you have a very solid proposal. You don't need to look for, okay, what is that, what is this. You know that where you are working, what the organization will
Hmm.
propose in the GSoC, you have some kind of familiarity. You can always prepare beforehand. So depends on your organization, you should channelize your time and efforts.
Okay, great. Also, looking back on your journey now, do you think knowing some maybe key thing about maybe let's say that you go back in time and you have the chance to restart your preparation. Let's say for GSOC itself. So, is there anything that you wish that you knew before? Maybe contributing to GSOC or anything like that. Maybe even starting for preparing for it. So, do you think is there anything that you wish you had knew before, rather so that it would have maybe streamlined your way into GSOC or the organization maybe?
Yes, I was very fond of ML for science, very fond,
Mm.
and CERN HSF, and that kind
Okay.
of project they do, like in the means physical, not physical, in
Mm.
the natural sciences area, like physics,
Okay.
chemistry, mathematics, quantum physics. So
Mm-hmm.
I had the theoretical understanding of what they are doing, but again, if I someone asks me what would I do, I will give more time to learn one more language, which people are using to execute ML projects, like C++.
Okay.
Like
Mm-hmm.
that is the only thing, because
Okay.
given my situation and in my shoes, I
Mm-hmm.
could only afford to learn one more languages beside Python, like C++ or
Mm-hmm.
anything which will help me to get executed the ML projects of that scale.
Okay. So, since
Yes,
we are talking about languages and learning, what do you think are the resources that the students could utilize to maybe learn a few things?
that time uh, there were more reliance on the means GitHub repositories and on the
Okay.
mentors. Right now, we have so
Okay.
many platforms like coding blocks. So
Mm-hmm.
you can, there are many free videos of them. If you are
Mm-hmm.
looking for a self preparation mode, like okay, you have
Mm-hmm.
completed this, you are not having problem, you can skip that part. And if you
Mm-hmm.
are looking for any structured course where you think that you are able to learn and grasp concepts more easily and in
Mm-hmm.
a faster manner, join any coding
Mm-hmm.
course, like for example coding blocks. So it will
Okay.
be good. Because
Okay.
no, why I say this, because there are many people who take CS, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they because it is a very competitive branch, you could
Mm-hmm.
easily get FOMO what others are doing. And
True. That
right
happens. That
now,
definitely happens. Right.
yes, because someone sitting at IIT Delhi will execute a project in 1 month and you are not even to able to write hello world in that 1 month properly in different manners, in the
Mm-hmm.
different types of formats in or in different languages or
Mm-hmm.
any logic. So, like, if you want to execute it faster and better, join any course, because self preparation is
Okay.
like you have the uh, privilege to skip as per your mood.
Right.
So
Right.
that
That's
hampers
definitely
your
there.
preparation.
Mm-hmm.
So self preparation, you only choose self preparation when you are so much disciplined and you are not into any type of stuff other than what you want to do. But in college life, you do so many things like party, friendships,
Okay.
projects, events, fest. So you have the privilege to skip that part. But if you join any structured course, you know that there is a
Mm-hmm.
timeline. You need to complete this. You need to come. And that time the courses were very high of UC Udemy or something like that. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
that the courses, because of that after COVID boom, it has been streamlined very cost effective. So
Right. That's true.
join any
That's true.
course. It will help you in
Right.
structured preparation. And if
Mm-hmm.
anything, like where you are comfortable at, because then
Right.
you will be more concentrated. Okay, I have paid this. This will not be available after this. I need to learn this.
Right. That happens. They put a danda on you कि भाई अब तो पढ़ना है. That happens
Because that
definitely.
too. In college, being a
Mm.
self-disciplined guy is like, for me it was not. I was not that kind of student. I did so
Okay.
many things, so that is why
Okay.
I took that machine learning course, because I knew that I would have to give my time, and after
Hmm.
this they will remove the course structure. So it was the
Okay.
dedicated period. I need to
Mhm.
spend any day at least 2 hours to learn this.
Okay, so you also learned machine learning initially from the structure codes, and after you got adept in it, you just boom from there. That yes, I know all these things now. I can definitely target GSoC now.
Yeah, for the basics, you
Okay.
definitely need to join. For example, course computer science students, like right
Mhm.
now, every company demand you that you should be proficient in 2 3 languages, at least
Hmm.
Python or C++. I think if you are into product development, Python
Mhm.
C++ Java combo, or
Mhm.
if you are in front end MERN and MERN stack means ENA.
Mhm.
So means that kind of thing, like you should that gives you the logic, like when you write
Right.
code you will get the logic. Okay, if I don't know that
Mhm.
repository but I know the logic, like what are the basics, how to execute it,
Mhm.
how, because the documentation of every language is very boring. They update in a very boring way. They do not provide video, they just write okay. So you
Right.
need to have a habit of reading the documentation, and you will develop that habit when you read such lines of code that okay, okay, okay,
right.
okay.
When you
So you
find
should
it, when you
you should
understand it, right? क्योंकि इंटरेस्ट वहीं से आता है जब तुम समझते हो चीजें.
so for that you should get your basics cleared. If you do not that, you will
Hmm.
always be wondering, अरे ये code तो मेरे से होगा ही नहीं. And that is what technical interview is. Personally, I feel.
Hmm. Right, definitely. Also, one more question that you told me that you are now preparing for UPSC. So, how did you go from excelling at coding and everything? Because usually, what happens is that when people excel so much at coding, and I looked through your profile, it was great. Like, if you were in my interview, you would be the first choice for me, for I would say any role related to ML. So, how did you shift from targeting these, I would say, jobs to shifting to UPSC entirely? How did this shift happen?
No, the thing was that it is a very typical answer, not framed, but
Hmm.
due to my background, like it is a very tier 3 city in Chhattisgarh,
Hmm.
Rajnandgaon, from where I
Hmm.
did my schooling till 10th, then Bhilai till 12th. After that,
Hmm.
I get into college. This is a very only
Okay.
simple story.
Hmm.
And UPSC, there is a different thing. Like when I was in college, I did
Hmm.
so many things. Like I to get what I actually like doing any startup. Like in the COVID time, we had food delivery app. It worked
Okay.
because that was COVID time. To scale
Okay.
it, we need to provide huge discounts, have cash in the bank, and this was the same
And
thing.
you
Like
didn't have the
marketing.
cash to burn during that time.
Yes, we
Okay.
started. We didn't continue after that period because to in the number today now the medicine delivery startups give 50% discount. They have
Hmm.
the cash to burn.
Right.
I did not had. Also that time I didn't use GSoC to have some sort of experiments. Then
Okay.
after that I was more into writing scripts and screenplays. I
Hmm.
still do. So it's been six
Okay.
years I'm writing. In my
Okay.
I mean, after GSoC only, I completed the first film I shot was in Feb 2022 before GSoC, but I
Oh.
was unable to release it. It was a short film. In the
Okay.
meantime, till the GSoC completed, I wrote my second film. I directed it. So that was the hobby that I'm still continuing. Means in the free time, I used to write scripts, like not very big,
Okay.
written some big scripts, but okay. So I was doing everything, and coding was basically very honest. I wanted to have some money to go to trips and places.
Hmm.
Definitely, the career objective was a goal, but
Hmm.
more inclined as an student, I was on looking to have some good trips. And
Okay.
this was my primary, not primary, but the motivating objective. Like
Okay.
good
So
career, you
definitely.
in college, you do not
Hmm.
think about like this stuff's very serious. If you think that it can vanish away very easily.
Hmm.
So that
After
is why,
it's like when you don't have it, you want it, and once you get it, you find that it was not as valuable as I thought it might be. And I would say that GSoC does provide a lucrative stipend to students. But the thing is that the it is kind of a side benefit when you actually get it, and you get to know that the learning all the technical things that you do, talking to the people who are already so well versed in their tech stuff, and getting that mindset of getting things done. That is the actual benefit of completing GSoC, I would say. The money is just the
yeah,
side stuff. Initially I also
money.
had the same thing that yes, पैसे मिलेंगे बहुत सारे, but when you actually get it,
So
you
we
realize
choose
that यार ये तो
internship.
side thing है. Hmm.
We choose internship based on our materialistic goals. But when
Yes.
after getting into that, when we are explored to different aspects, and
Hmm.
if you develop interest in that, the money
Hmm.
becomes irrelevant to you, and you more focus on
Yes.
contributing. And that is why you would only able to complete it, because every year there are people who do not complete first year, first evaluation, midterm evaluation. There are people.
Yes.
So
Yes. 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 That happens a
when
lot.
yes, So there are people who do not finish their midterm evaluation. That actually happens here when you only join for the monetary perspective. So
Hmm.
initially, you always look internship to have a good amount of stipend. Then when you get into
Yes.
it, then you think more of completing it, because if you
Yes.
won't do it, it will like haunt you. Like if I was not able to complete GSoC, like
Hmm.
it was very disastrous and drastic for me to think
Okay.
even of not completing it. So that is the
Hmm.
thing. And
Because that is
particularly,
an opportunity that you have worked so hard for getting, and now that you have it, not being able to finishing that race is like a dreadful thing. रातों की नींद उड़ जाती है कि भाई नहीं ये
हाँ,
तो करना है, ये तो पूरा करना
वो
है.
कंप्लीट
Hmm.
करके ही रहना है. सो आई मैनेज इट
Yes.
बिकॉज that time also my exams, my practicals, my left practical exams of the COVID
Hmm.
period, and so many things were going. But then also means I had in mind that okay, मुझे complete करना ही है किसी भी हाल में. So
True.
it is that you will automatically get dedicated towards what you have opted. So it is the process. And
Yes.
the thing of it, I wanted to have some good experience. I wanted to
Hmm.
pursue UPSC. It was not very clear when I was in college. After college, it was clear to me, because
Okay.
I thought that I wouldn't be able to read, grasp, and understand. But I gave my first prelims in
Hmm.
2023. It was on
Hmm.
28th of May. So I
Okay.
was confident that okay, I can clear this exam. I
Hmm.
didn't clear 2024, but still I am confident. Okay, कि कभी कभार लग चलता है कभी नहीं. And UPSC
Yes,
is
that happened.
somewhat everything under the sky. So you need to. I don't know why some clears in first attempt, some in two and three, some fifth and
Hmm.
sixth. So I don't know about which would be my attempt, but I am
Okay.
confident. And joining DSC was like that time my optional was economics,
Okay.
because I had economics in my 11th and 12th.
Hmm.
So more like I appeared for
Okay,
CAT.
you had just one thing. You had economics as a subject in 11th and 12th.
Yes.
Okay, but are you from the commerce background?
No, no, I
Or
am from mathematics background. I had just
okay,
for combination, people choose maths plus CS, maths plus IP. I chose
okay,
maths
got it,
plus
got it.
economics.
Okay, awesome, awesome, nice.
So that was kind. The thing is, what I thought, I didn't want to go in job because I knew if I get into job, I will
Hmm.
like it is not discipline factor. I won't be able to dedicate my mind towards UPSC. I would be
Yes.
more in doing much and much better in my job. I will find like extra time to do what is not going through the industry and what are the problems
Hmm.
industry is facing. So my mind would be completely off track, because
True.
if you are in job, people are like to some many people, not many, like every person has its own constraints. Some go job to
Hmm.
get financial independency, to pay for coaching fees or for their leave. Some go
Hmm.
for like initial experience so that they create a backup when they leave job. Many things, every person has his
Hmm.
own perspective. Mine was that if I go into job, even I have in my mind that what will be my the last attempt. After that, if I go into job, I won't attempt any exam or something.
Okay.
I will give my
Okay.
100% time to that particular work I am doing, to improve myself, to scale myself,
Hmm.
and to get expert in that particular industry where I am working. So that is
Okay.
why I appeared for CAT. It didn't work well, and
Hmm.
then I appeared for CUET. The reason I
Okay.
choose DSE is if you check the average placements, first point that I
Hmm.
kept in mind was placements, because if I am taking a gap year or something and losing on the opportunities that I have created during my engineering,
Hmm.
I need something to have to back me up when everything is going into low. So DSE
Right.
first has a good placement record as compared to baby IMs. Okay, and the second is
Hmm.
DLC is a very old college, very reputable as a brand name, and a very strong alumni network. So
Right.
either Black, I didn't make it to Black Eye or any of the baby IM, but I made it to DSC. So that
Hmm.
put me in not as a comparison to Black Eye, but
Hmm.
just little above baby IMs. So that is the kind of security that provided. But
Yes,
when I
that's a
started
great
it,
bracket, I would say.
yes, because DSE is a very good college if you don't want to get into or you want to, like, you know that you do not want to waste time in preparing for CAT and appearing for interviews if you are a general engineering male.
Hmm.
So because it happens, like many of my friends having 99.8 plus percentiles didn't make it to ABC.
Yes, that
So this
happens.
is the reality. So if you do not have the time of getting into a CAT cycle and you do
Hmm.
not want to pursue your undergraduate thing, you can join DSC or any economics or where you have good placements and strong alumni. I chose DSC
Hmm.
because I can read economics and it was not
Okay.
new for me. So that is
Okay.
the thing. That is why I chose.
Okay.
I started in the same manner. I planned very,
Okay.
very not in the very precise manner. I looked
Hmm.
upon the points that were thrown to me at that particular situation. That okay, this
And you made
I
the
didn't
best out
clear.
of it.
I need to make best out of it. And
Yes.
also the
Awesome.
leverage is that DSE
Mhm.
provides you to complete your degree in 4 years. Like you
Okay.
can complete your MA economics in 4 years. So even I
Okay.
gap and do not appear for any semester, I do not need to worry about the things that okay, I will not be able to complete my degree. I have spent so much money. So there are
Hmm.
many points DS is good for me.
Right. Okay. One last thing. One last question before ending the podcast. Let's say the student doesn't remember what were all the key points that we mentioned during the podcast. So, what will be the one final message that you want the viewers to remember after this podcast, so that this is the, you can say, the take home key point, that yes, focus on this particular thing for maybe those who are willing to participate in GSoC, or you can say aspiring developers who want to maybe start with open source development. So what is that one key point that you want your viewers to remember?
Write code. Because anything if you
Okay.
find, for example, if you are encountering any problem, anything, for
Ah.
example, if you want to go for a movie, you do
Hmm.
not have leisure to refresh your browser again and again, and you know
Hmm.
that this movie will release, and you have to buy it first day, first show, and you do not know that whether you will remember it or not. Make a Chrome
Hmm.
extension and ask it the function to refresh the browser every time the movie releases. Make a list of
Hmm.
your favorite movies or directors that you want to pick and notify you. That is the good thing
Okay.
because I
So
am a
creating
movie
personal projects
enthusiast.
that actually help
Yes,
us.
just
Okay.
do not see about solving world problems because that needs a
Mhm.
team. So if you are doing
Right.
it a team, you can scale it. That's okay. That's very good. But
Mhm.
solve your personal problems through coding. It will be
Right.
a great practice for you. That is the only thing that, and you do not need to invest like a year in the project and say that I am working
Mhm.
on project, I am working on project, I am working on project. To show the
Mhm.
panel, you will be already having two, three things, and in a very crisp manner that okay, this was the problem I solved in this way. So it's that
Mhm.
not scalable to 1 million users, but the
Mhm.
20K users in my area in my college is using it, and this is the problem I solved. So that's
Okay.
the thing. For example, in a have you been to hostel, college hostel?
Yes, I have
So
been there.
there, yes, then you can understand that for canteen part in the recess there are so many long hours. Make a
Right.
app that you can book a meal, pay at
Mhm.
the once and get the token. Go to canteen, take your meal. A simple thing.
Yes.
You don't need to stand in the line to be a ye de do ye. So solve the problems around you through coding. If you are into development, whether product or anything, help someone and depends on your constraint, follow it very rigorously. That's the only
Yes.
thing because you cannot make Google at this, but you can solve problems around you definitely. So that is
That's
the
an
thing.
awesome key point. I would say the simplest, yet I have heard the simplest, yet the most effective key point to end the podcast with. So thank you, Kshitij. Thank you for the awesome podcast and being a part of it, and showering me and the viewers with your knowledge and expertise. So thank you for the awesome, I would say, interaction, and all the best for your UPSC prep. I'll make sure
Okay.
that I am the one of the first few people to congratulate you when you definitely crack the
We,
UPSC.
we are in touch now. I reply.
Yes,
Sorry, I
definitely.
sometimes reply late because I don't often check my phones. But yeah, I'm not a text or message person. But if you call me, I will definitely pick up. I never put in silence, even I go to sleep.
Okay. I would say that is a great thing that you do not reply instantly. That means you are focused on your prep.
It doesn't matter. Means sometimes people see and don't reply. But the thing is,
Okay.
I make it clear whenever I see, I reply, and I reply to
Hmm.
means I completely read and reply. Do not like okay,
Hmm.
but more easy approach to connect me is call me because it keeps
Okay.
easy and all the things can be done instantly. That for
Yes.
example, you sent me a text, I checked it in the evening, I'll reply, you checked it next morning, you reply. So
Right.
I'm not more of a social wagon.
You
I'm
are
still a
very
call
productive
person.
in that sense. I would say you want things to be done and done instantly, like solve one problem after
Yeah,
another and just
like
keep moving.
whether you can call me impatient, but I do not want to waste time on things that can be done in a minute.
Yes, definitely.
And
Oh, all right.
that is my
So,
advice, that do not waste your time for like so many things. Solve your personal
mhm,
problems with coding. You will develop a good hands-on experience in development and products. That is the only
true,
thing.
true. So, thank you, Shedit. Thank you for being a part of it. And bye bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for having me.